Of our nation's annual homeless population, half are families with children. As school employees, we must understand our role in making sure homeless children receive an education. In this video, we will answer the following questions. What is the definition of a homeless student? How does homelessness happen, and what are the signs to look for? What rights do homeless children and youth have? What are the obligations of the school district? Let's first define who qualifies as a homeless student. A homeless student is defined as a school-age child who lacks a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, or a school-age child who has a primary nighttime residence that is any of the following: a shelter, temporary institutional residence, makeshift arrangements in someone else's home, and a place not designed for human accommodations. These children may spend their nights in shelters, motels, under bridges, at churches, in cars, on the street, doubled up with friends or family, or they may live in abandoned buildings. Another term you may hear is unaccompanied youth. This group includes young people who have run away from home, been thrown out of their homes, and/or abandoned by parents or guardians. These young people are separated from their parents for a variety of reasons. Many report being physically or sexually abused, and over 2/3 report that at least one of their parents abuses drugs or alcohol. For many of these young people, leaving home is a survival issue. Some youth are thrown out of their homes because they are pregnant, gay or lesbian, or because their parents believe they are old enough to take care of themselves. Over half of the youth living in shelters report that their parents either told them to leave or knew they were leaving and did not care. School may be the only safe and stable environment available to unaccompanied youth. Yet unaccompanied youth often face unique barriers to enrolling and succeeding in school. Without a parent or guardian to advocate for them and exercise parental rights, they are sometimes denied enrollment and remain out of school for extended periods of time. Unaccompanied youth also may not understand their educational rights. The education provisions of the McKinney-Vento Act, which are now incorporated within No Child Left Behind, ensure educational rights and protections for children and youth experiencing homelessness. It is also important to understand the many reasons that homelessness happens. These include the inability to find affordable housing, eviction or fleeing from domestic violence or a natural disaster, substance abuse, divorce or the death of a parent, physical or mental illness, and the lack of a steady job for the breadwinners in the family. As school personnel, it is important that we educate ourselves on some of the common signs students may exhibit if they are in a homeless situation. The student may be chronically hungry or hoard food. They may be poorly groomed or have chronic health problems, and they may seem very fatigued, making it difficult for them to concentrate in the school. Other signs may not be physical. The student may have low self-esteem, extreme shyness or nervousness, or be extremely angry and aggressive. Another sign of homelessness may be the young person has difficulty establishing relationships and building trust. Homeless youth also often lack clean clothes and general school supplies and may be frequently absent or tardy. They may also seem unprepared by not turning in homework or papers requiring a guardian's signature. Another sign may be talking about staying with grandparents, relatives, and friends, or in motels, and how they have to help care for siblings and even their parents. We also find homeless youth, particularly unaccompanied youth, spending a lot of time around the school, immediately following the school day and at many nighttime events. Parents or guardians who are homeless may choose to enroll their children in your school, and it is important to understand the challenges faced by these families and important responsibilities school employees have in assisting them. As school personnel, it is important to understand the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act. This act ensures the educational rights and protections for children and youth experiencing homelessness. The McKinney-Vento Act states that all children are entitled to a free and appropriate public education, all services comparable to those offered to non-homeless students, the choice to remain in their school of origin or to transfer to a school in their current attendance area, enrollment in school despite the lack of a permanent address or lack of school records, access to educationally related support services funded by District Title I funds. Information about transportation options must be provided. Advocacy from a school district liaison to ensure the rights are upheld. Free or reduced priced breakfast and lunch. Special education, after school and summer programs, Head Start, and other early childhood programs in the district. When a homeless family contacts your school, you are required to contact your school's homeless liaison to immediately assist in obtaining immunizations or medical records for those students who do not have them. Students must be enrolled in school in the interim until these documents are obtained. Each school should have a local homeless education liaison. Liaisons play a critical role in stabilizing students and promoting academic achievement. The responsibilities of this person are to be sure: homeless children and youth are identified, are enrolled, and have the opportunity to succeed in school. Work with homeless families and students to be sure they receive educational services for which they are eligible. Work with parents or guardians of homeless students to provide meaningful opportunities to participate in the education of their children. Liaisons must also give public notice of the educational rights of homeless children and youth and make sure it is disseminated. If an enrollment dispute arises, the liaison must be sure it is mediated. The liaison must also be sure the parent or guardian of a homeless student is fully informed of transportation services. And finally, liaisons collaborate with state coordinators and community and school personnel that provide educational and other services to homeless children and youth. The liaison must also be sure there is a plan on file with the state educational agency that is coordinated with the McKinney-Vento Homeless Assistance Act in order to receive the funding. What homeless children need most of all is a home, but while they are experiencing homelessness, children desperately need to remain in school. School is one of the few stable, secure places in the lives of homeless children and youth, a place where they can acquire the skills needed to help them escape poverty. By understanding the signs of homelessness and what you can do to help, you can make a critical difference in the lives of homeless youth in our community. If you have any questions about your district's policies, please contact your building administrator.